2012 was probably the worst of it. We started seeing more and more feral pigs in the river bottom. Our place lays on Black River drainage, right on the Black River. So we'd shoot one or two here or there, hear guys during deer season, and then from there it kind of exploded. You'd come out there the next morning after planting all night and they would be just rooted up, and all the corn that you just planted the night before is gone. You know, there was no way to plant, there was no way to effectively manage the ground with the damage at that time. Yeah, so feral swine would have completely ended our row crop operation. I hear it a lot, like, oh, it's just some feral pigs, or it's just some pigs out there in your field, but they don't understand the financial losses that people are experiencing, and the damages, and how much time, effort, and energy, an additional burden that you already have. You're just trying to make a living with the products and create an ag product, whether it's cattle or crops. And then you have this additional thing of this wild creature coming in and destroying everything you've worked hard for.
The feral swine issue here in Missouri really started in the 90s and really started to come to a head in the early 2000s. At the time, Governor Blunt had a task force that put together some recommendations. There were some ideas about strengthening Missouri state laws related to releasing feral hogs because we knew we had hogs being released. We had new populations popping up in parts of the state, but there was really no teeth to the laws that we had.
Hogs were bought at the local sale barns and dumped, and some of them were caught, you know, in Texas, Oklahoma, these guys hunting down there, and they turned them loose.
There was already a lot of mistrust of the government. So for an agency or multiple agencies to come in and say, hey, we're not going to allow you to do this, and we're going to take care of the problem, when the other side was talking about, well, we're part of the solution. We can help control hogs. But you know, for 20 years, we had been allowing hog hunting, and we tried to trap at the same time. And it wasn't working, and the population was increasing.
We're surrounded by Mark Twain National Forest. They were wanting to close hunting down. We felt like people were doing a decent job, at least killing the pigs. I was very vocal about it. At the end of the day, they held fast and they kept the ban where you couldn't hunt feral pigs on state or federal ground. And eventually we saw that was actually a good thing.
When folks come to me and say that, you know, hunting reduces, you can eliminate feral hogs through hunting, I would say that I can set a trap and catch 20 hogs one night, and when I run dogs and hunt pigs, I'm very rarely ever getting more than 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. And it scatters them across the landscape, and it takes 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days for them to reproduce. And you will not eliminate by hunting.
We had very few examples of where we had actually caught people releasing hogs. And what really helped strengthen our story was when we started working with USDA to collect genetic samples from feral hogs that had been killed here in Missouri. And what we were able to show is that we had 15 distinct genetic populations, and that a feral hog killed in Benton County, Missouri came from Wayne County, Missouri, and it had genetics from Texas, Florida, Oklahoma. It really helped strengthen our story that people were transporting and moving feral hogs from other states or even within Missouri and releasing them here in Missouri.
This shouldn't be for sport. This should go away. These pigs don't need to be here.
Our goal has been eradication. We're not there to manage the damage. It has been focused on eradicating feral hogs from the state. And so that's why we took the steps to close down hog hunting on public land, because that removed the incentive for folks to release hogs.
In Missouri, we're unique in that we have a group of agencies and partnerships working together for a common goal, where we have political support and funding support to eliminate feral hogs in the state. And we're constantly doing everything all the time, which is difficult with staff, you know. We're trapping at the same time we're doing aerial ops. And where we weren't flying or able to use a drone in one part of the state, we were trapping in the other. So we were pretty essentially double dipping on eliminating feral hogs.
We've got deciduous trees in Missouri that have lost their leaf. That gives us a clear visual down to the ground from the helicopter to be able to visually see the pig. But it also allows us to use the thermal sensor of the drone to see through that forest canopy and detect any critters that might be out there. We've got 5 or 6 drone pilots flying each morning ahead of the helicopter. They'll find and detect swine, get a known GPS location of that sounder group. Yeah. We can send it directly to our helicopter and they can buzz in and remove those individuals.
I mean, this is the show me state, and what has really been helpful for our success has been the field trips that USDA and the Department of Conservation have given for Farm Bureau, cattlemen, county commissioners, state legislators, so that they could actually see what we were accomplishing on the ground, but also to talk with landowners, to see the success, to see the support that was starting to grow.
We got 28 in a month, and we hunted 24 hours a day. And you guys kill 100 in a day? I mean, what else can I ask for?
Texas, where I grew up, the hunting culture is strong and people want to be able to shoot whatever they want when they're out hunting. But I would just say if you would allow a shift to get rid of and eradicate the feral pig instead of using it as a sporting opportunity, it would greatly help and benefit the landowners. So now it's actually pretty nice. Like the amount of time and money and resources we're saving by not having to deal with what was being created by the feral pigs.
Yeah, I mean, this has really been a success story. The closure of feral hog hunting on all public lands, as well as strengthening our feral hog laws here in Missouri, has really set us up for success.
I said, you'll never get them all. And I had to eat my words.
Yeah, I'd say it's definitely a burden that's been lifted off that, as a farmer rancher, we deal with so many issues, environmental, planning, trying to get your emergence and rain and the weather, and you have all these factors you can't control. And so now to have one of those factors, the feral pigs, taken out of that, now we can focus on growing a good, healthy crop without something coming in and destroying it overnight. And allows you to, you know that your hard work's not in vain.